So I'm watching episode 3 of season 5 of Voyager. Sorry, my camera's moving because my cat, one of my cats, is deciding to join me on the couch here. B'Elanna's going through depression, and a lot of that is spurned on by the fact that she refuses to. It sounds horrible to say, but embrace grief over losing her friends when the Maquis were all slaughtered by the Dominion. And this episode speaks a lot to me because not to get incredibly personal, and someday I hope to talk about this. But when our first daughter was stillborn, I don't think that my wife and I would have made it through that period of grief if we hadn't simply accepted what had happened. And really analyzed what that meant for us. And to see B'Elanna become somewhat, well, not somewhat, but quite destructive in her behavior in order to feel something, I had quite the opposite response, and so did my wife. I mean, we felt everything. Yeah, we did things to try and get ourselves into a frame of mind where we were taking steps forward, but the grief was always there and ever present. And I think the biggest thing between the both of us is that we embraced that grief and allowed it to just happen. And I was also very fortunate that I had a boss and a manager that really understood that sometimes I needed to take a moment because it hit you. I mean, it's been, it'll be 3 years this November since we lost her, and it, even to this day, I'll be having a seemingly normal day, and then all of a sudden it just hits me, and I gotta take a moment. It can be quite overwhelming. But if you don't allow yourself to experience these things, then you just keep pushing it off, and it just tears you up and eats you up from the inside. So a really great episode here, Star Trek Voyager, and I really feel like it was written by people that probably have some personal experience with grief. And again, folks, I'm gonna say this because all too often you feel like there's no way out, and that there's you feel sort of at the end of your ropes, and I highly recommend that you reach out to family, friends, and if you're not willing to talk to them about it, reach out to a stranger. There's hotlines that are capable of navigating you through issues. My wife and I, we went through grief counseling as a couple. We went to organizations like No Foot Too Small. I can't recommend them enough. To work through those instances. So this wasn't something that I wanted to put into a short. I wanted to make a video about it and put it on my channel. There's not going to be any intro or anything like that, and I'm not going to go through the normal stuff here. But this is purely for folks that come across this video. Yeah, this is a great episode, and it's completely different than Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was very episodic, dealt with the characters, built each relationship. Star Trek Voyager does a lot of the same, but the biggest difference is the isolation of an entire crew has an entirely different effect on the crew members and individuals than what Deep Space Nine went through as a station. But really great show, and I don't think it's really appreciated enough. Adios.